Welcome back to Dr. Tanya Vlogs. Today we are doing something special that we have never done before, and that is hosting on Maui. This afternoon I will be hosting a group of ladies at my home on Maui for a tea party, or high tea, or afternoon tea. I don't know what it's called, but anyway. Hosting on Maui is super different. Back in Houston, we had all the things. We had like serving trays, we had champagne flutes, we had wine glasses, we had all the everything that you would need to host a party. But here on Maui, not so much. And we have very limited resources when it comes to picking up things. Like, we don't have like a big box party store that we can go to. We basically have Walmart, Target, and Costco. And Costco is very functional. So they have a lot of like food and sort of like utility items and things of that nature, but not so much like party items. So definitely nothing dainty enough for a tea party. So I did have to go pick up a couple items from the forbidden Target. Yes, I did. Unfortunately, as I said, resources are limited. So I did that. I also had to return some blueberries to Costco. And you're probably like, she's always returning fruit to Costco. And that's because I live on a volcano in the middle of the Pacific. So by the time food gets here, half the time, it's just not like super fresh. So if it didn't come from the farmer's market, you pretty much got one day to eat it. And if you don't eat it, then it starts to grow. So that's just the way it is. But anywho, so I did that, Costco, Target. Now I'm at Baked on Maui, just picking up a couple of pastries. I ended up just picking up these Lilikoi shortbread cookies, as well as some guava shortbread cookies. So yeah. We're also having, well, I'll let you know. I'm going to take you along with me to the party, so you'll see what else we'll have. But that's it. I'm about to head home so that I can finish cleaning up and preparing for my co-host to arrive in the next couple of hours. And then we'll be hosting ladies for our first afternoon tea on Maui. And I'm so excited to be a part of this. And I'll take you with me. Did you hear the sound of the animals in my house? They're supposed to be cleaning up, but anyway, so as you can see, we've been cleaning up, trying to make things fresh. Honestly, this is probably the deepest clean we've done since we've been here, and maybe I should be embarrassed to say that, but hey, the truth is the truth. Anyway, I need to upload my video for today. And then my co-host should be here in about 45 minutes, so we can kind of put the final touches on the food and the decor, etc. I have a whole pile of clothes that I need to fold over there. But yeah, we're almost there. I'm so excited for you to meet some of the ladies.
Tanya's gonna turn on her, it was set up a second ago.
And with our golf course, we want to do a herbal tea. There are, who's familiar with all the different types of tea? Okay, so tell me.
Actually, technically from the same bush, but they're actually just prepared in different ways.
So she is right. All of the teas are made from the same bush. And there is pu'er, there's black tea, there's a green tea, there is oolong, there is a red tea, which is the rooibos, rooibos, and then there's a white tea, and then there is yellow tea. So, and then there's also Kenyan purple tea. Yes. So there are several different tea categories, and tea continues to expand. People treat tea like fine wine. There's actually tea sommeliers as well. So tea you pair with various things. So for our first course, we're going to do the scone. And let me get the hot water. And while I'm grabbing the hot water, you can take your teacup and saucer, remove it, and this is your side plate or dessert plate. And each person grab a scone / biscuit for today. And then I'll bring over the clotted cream and the jam. Oh, we have the jam already here. Yeah, black tea is number one, and then green tea or something like that. So black as well with the tea and the dessert. Typically, when you have afternoon tea, if you're at a low table, you're supposed to pick up your teacup and drink your tea with your teacup in hand and keep it steady. But this isn't a low table, so it's fine. So if it was a low table, so today you're just drinking it like this and you're fine. So I just wanted to continue with giving you guys some other tea tips. Is what I'm going to call that. You know, tea etiquette tips. And I hope you guys enjoyed our first tea.
Thank you so much for everything. So the tea is over. Let me turn this light on so you can see me. As you can see, I look like a toe. I didn't get an opportunity to comb my hair because we were putting out little baby fires, but everything worked out. I think the turnout was great. I feel like the decor was as beautiful as it could be here on Maui. And yeah, I think it just turned out great. Great conversation, just great energy. The ladies are all so very interesting and so diverse. And it was just really a good time. And I enjoyed them. We learned so much about teas. We learned about pairings. We learned about proper tea etiquette. It was really a very informative session and just, like I said, good vibes, good energy, good conversation, all the things. So I am about to wind down and get ready for tomorrow. I'm off tomorrow, but then I go to work for 7 days in the hospital. This is probably going to be a fairly busy week. But yeah, that's it for now. Okay, bye. Hello guys, it is the next day and I am cooking dinner as I reflect on our little tea party yesterday. I will admit that this is the first time that my capsule wardrobe has failed me. And I would say that it's primarily because I don't have anything to wear for a tea party, or really, I don't really have much in the way of dresses on Maui. I do have the perfect tea party dress on at my house in Texas, but yeah, it's not going to do me any good there, right? I didn't bring it here specifically because I figured I would never wear it. So there's that. So I'm scrolling through Pinterest and looking at some tea attire. And I figured I would share a couple of my picks with you. I actually looked before, it was the same day, the day of, or yesterday rather. I looked just to see if I could find any sort of headpieces at the Target on Maui. Yes, I know we're not supposed to be shopping at Target, but as I said already, we don't have a lot of options. So I was looking for headpieces that could kind of give, what do they call them? I can't think of the name. I'm totally blanking. What are they called, Bubby? The little fascinator. A fascinator. I was looking for something that looked kind of like a fascinator. But yeah, I didn't find anything. So because I have like itty bitty top, slim waist, and thick, below the waist. I tend to go for like an A-line or something that kind of accentuates my waist, but also covers the thighs. I do have this black dress that's really gorgeous that I purchased from a boutique in Houston called Chloe Dow. But I don't know, black and this beautiful green and blue background of Maui just doesn't really do it. So let's see. What do we have? I think I probably should go for, I probably need a lot more. I just need more pink in my wardrobe, right? How can you be a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha and not have any pink? So I found a couple of dresses on Pinterest that I would actually wear to a tee. This first dress, I actually love it because of the way it cinches at the waist and it gives you room down below. And I like the flowers, these roses. Are they roses? I think they're roses. I don't think they're peonies. I'm pretty sure they're roses. It has this ruching that cinches you in the waist. Even the top is flattering for someone with a small chest like me. It may even give the illusion of fuller chest, but it definitely sort of covers and doesn't really accentuate how large my thighs are because of the shape. And it's definitely something that would go really well with a string of pearls and pearl earrings. And I could see this with a very dainty white fascinator with pearl embellishments. So I think this is a very classic tea party dress. This next look this is truly me. It looks like it's made with suiting with this gray color, which typically I probably wouldn't go for gray because gray kind of gives the same energy as black. But because it's not black and it's lighter in color, I think it lends to a more kind of springy vibe than black. So I suppose we could say this is like the black of spring. It has cinched waist and the A-line, which is totally me. Clearly she has a pocket, which is always a plus. And this little off the shoulder vibe kind of accentuates my like toned shoulders, collarbone, etc. So I think this would actually look great on me. I feel like it's probably not quite as tea party-esque. I think the silhouette gives tea party, but the suiting, the fabric that looks more like suiting is what kind of takes away the tea party-esque. But I would definitely 100% wear this and feel very confident and comfortable. And this last dress I think is me as well. It has the same silhouette as we talked about. I have big thighs, so we have to cover those. It also has more of a masculine feel with the collar, I think. This V-neck is, would work well for me with someone who basically has a smaller chest. The V-neck, I don't do well with super high necks because then I totally just look like a boy from here to the waist. So I like that feature. I also like the sort of applique kind of, I don't know if it's lace per se, but the applique covering. Obviously the A-line. I'm not a huge fan of the belt. I feel like it needs something there, but I'm not really a huge fan of this particular belt. But yeah, this is probably something else I would wear. And this last one, actually, yeah, I may have to put this at the top for a couple of reasons. Obviously, the silhouette, this tailoring in these, they're not pleats. I don't even know what you would call these little sort of loops where you would expect a pleat, but it kind of sticks out. I think that adds a lot of interest. This bodice doesn't typically suit me because of my smaller bust, but the color and everything else just kind of screams spring. And I think this would be perfect, especially if you had just the right fascinator to go with it. I think this is super cute. I don't know if I said it yet. I felt some type of way when I look back at the videos that I had, and I felt like, well, obviously I didn't get a chance to finish dressing, so I didn't do my hair. So my hair was just pulled back in a ponytail, and I only had this white dress. So that was pretty much my only option. I planned to wear it with this belt that I have, but actually none of the belts that I had really they were not giving. So I felt underdressed, but like I said, we were able to get away with it because we're here on Maui and then I was at home. So it was like not a big deal. If we had gone out, then maybe that would have been something different. But I felt like the capsule wardrobe did fail me here. So I wanted to show you some things that, I would go for if I had all the resources available to me. And I had to do another tea party. Yeah, I love that green dress. I think I love the color of that dress and the shape, definitely. But then, yeah, I don't know. You let me know what you think in the comments. But otherwise, I'm going to end this vlog here. I need to go for a run. Yes, I did have a glass of champagne, but that's okay because I still need to go for a run. So that's what we're going to do. I'm probably only going to do a couple of miles and then I'll come in, finish dinner, and then get ready for work. 7 days on the inside. So I was going to end that vlog there, but then I decided to end it on a more meaningful note. There that word comes again. So in my last vlog, I talked about why I pivoted or switched or completely abandoned my mission to spread the word about insulin resistance and how various factors, specifically food, actually contributes to many of the chronic diseases that we treat. I'm concerned by the way we as doctors have decided to treat many chronic diseases. And because we're not taught nutrition in medical school, we very often, you just completely overlook it, or we just kind of throw in nutrition as sort of like an afterthought. But nutrition is so important to our health, and not just like normal cell growth and function, but it actually impacts disease. And I have been obsessed with this and obsessed with reading research papers and various books to understand how food can actually heal people. And in my last vlog, I talked about why I abandoned it, which was basically because I was getting so much pushback and it was becoming too, when I say so much pushback, like, doctors, I would have doctors unfollow me on social media because they didn't agree with what I was saying, or I would have a nutritionist unfollow me on social media. But the thing is, I finally came to the conclusion these people don't know. They don't mean any harm. They're just defending what they know to be true, which is unfortunately not true. It's not science. It's not evidence-based. It's just what we've been taught, primarily by pharmaceutical companies. But not to go down that rabbit hole, I'm here to say I want to talk about one other passion that I have. Fashion is one, but my other passion is actually nutrition and using food as medicine, and also uncovering and reversing insulin resistance through lifestyle changes. So insulin resistance is actually the root cause of many common medical conditions: PCOS, migraine headaches, hypertension, or primary hypertension. Obviously, insulin resistance can turn into type 2 diabetes and can also result in coronary atherosclerosis, high cholesterol, all the things, and can actually even contribute to certain types of cancers. Now, there are various factors that actually cause insulin resistance. Growth of the fat cell is one of them, and too high insulin levels is another. So let's talk about what causes food. So various things, chemicals in the environment can cause your insulin levels to be high. Inflammation can cause your insulin levels to go up. Stress can cause your insulin levels to go up. But our standard American diet is one cause. Basically, it's full of sugars, full of refined grains, and every one of us eats every day. So part of my mission is to raise awareness about how the foods that you choose impact your insulin, which ultimately will impact your cellular function and your health. And I walked away from that. I did fashion and had fun playing dress up. And I'm not saying I still want to continue to have fun and play dress up and connect with you through fashion. However, if you would allow me, can I also share my other passion with you? I don't really know what it looks like. All I know is that it's not going away. It was placed on my heart and I can't run away from it. I slipped back down the Ben Bickman rabbit hole. Ben Bickman is a PhD. He has a PhD in bioenergetics and he has a special interest in the fat cell, which he has done decades of research looking specifically at the fat cell, how it functions, and its various cellular activities and the different hormones and things that affect the fat cell. And he wrote this book, Why We Get Sick, which sort of brought together for me all of the things that I kind of picked up over the course of 7 years in various different books, reading various research papers. But what it highlights is that insulin is at the root cause, or insulin resistance is at the root cause of many chronic diseases. And he talks about what things impact insulin resistance, which if we delve into the various things that cause, we are exposed to things every day that put us at risk for insulin resistance. It's not just what we eat, but I'd like to focus on what we eat because so many of us eating or consuming a standard American diet suffer because we don't know that we should be making better food choices. And somewhere like 80 something percent of Americans is metabolically unhealthy. I think it's like 88% of Americans is metabolically unhealthy, meaning they suffer from either overweight and obesity or high cholesterol, high blood pressure, high blood sugar, and other sequela of insulin resistance, right? So my mission is to raise awareness for this. And if you would allow me, I would like to also share that on this channel. I think that's what I was trying to say. Give me your feedback. You let me know what you want to know, because I got a lot up here about insulin resistance and type 2 diabetes, PCOS, migraine headaches, hypertension, coronary artery disease, heart attack, strokes, blah, 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 congestive heart failure, all the things. So let me know what you want to hear or what you want to discuss or what you want to learn more about in the comments. Make sure you like this video. Make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell. And make sure you share this video if you found it interesting, if you enjoyed seeing shots and snippets from our tea party, if you enjoy my fashion content, if you want to hear more about nutrition, how you can use food to improve your health, if you want to learn more about insulin resistance, make sure you like, subscribe, share for more. I think that's it. Okay, bye.